Hi everyone, my name is Logan Holley. I'm a graphic designer here at JADE Software, and BJ and I will be giving you a talk about skins. But first, a little bit about me. I once served in Iraq, but probably not the serving you're thinking of. I actually served volleyballs in Iraq. I spent 2 weeks over there at refugee camps, teaching kids to play volleyball, playing with them, and getting to know them. So, yeah. But yes, I will be talking to you with BJ about skins. What are skins? Why would you bother with a skin? What's involved in making them? And then BJ will give you a live demo. So first up, what is a skin? Well, a skin is basically what your piece of software looks like, what the application visually looks like. It's the user interface. So what do the buttons look like? What do the fields look like? Scroll bars, menus, everything. The visual of your application, that's the skin applied. So as you can see here, there's two skins here. One is a older skin and one is the newer skin that we designed and applied. So there's good UI, a good user interface. You can see here it's pleasing colors, it's modern, it's clear, and it's icons. It's easy to read. And then there's bad UI. There's no icons. It's all text. There's too many colors. It's all crammed. It's unpleasant and difficult to use. So why would you bother making a skin? First off, 94% of first impressions are design related. So, if you're trying to sell your product to your clients, the first time you show them it, 94% of that first impression is going to be design related. And, first impressions can stick. Your piece of software may work amazingly. It may do everything that they need, but, they're still going to be looking at it every single day. And if it doesn't look as good, it's going to be a little bit harder to sell. 75% of software's credibility is based on design. So if they just, may see this out in the world running or whatever it is, they're going to judge that piece of software on what it looks like, if it's any good. So they'll see it and go, oh, that looks bad. It's probably not a good piece of software. So, having it look good matters. We process visual data 60,000 times faster than just text. Now, that's very fast. And here's an example. Which one of these do you recognize first? Which one did you understand faster? It's an extreme example, but you see the visual one and you instantly go, I know what that is. That's going to be the same thing with icons and buttons. People are going to use a user interface faster if there's a lot more easy to read imagery and stuff like that rather than just text everywhere. So a good user interface helps. So let's talk hypothetically here. What if you were to take Jade on to upgrade one of your skins? What's actually involved in us doing that? So the phase one is the research. So we would talk to everyone that's involved in the product, find out what you guys are wanting, what's wrong with it, discuss the pain points, what requests do you have, what would you like to work better, and we would then start a thing called mood boarding. And what mood boarding is we'd basically start looking at what other pieces of software are in your industry, what your competitors are doing, what does your brand look like? So, we can get an idea of where we would like to head visually. So after we've done all that, we'd go on to phase two, which would start designing. So we would mock up an existing screen with the newer UI. So we're not just going to pick something random from Microsoft and start applying a new skin. We're going to take one of your screens and we're going to start applying the new design. So, as you can see here, this is a skin we did where we took an existing screen they had and we applied a new design to it. So you can get a feel of what it will look like in real life. We would then align the design to your brand. So, we've had a lot of people, they'll say, oh, we don't want the new skin to look like Jade. That's understandable. you want it to look like your company. It wants to have your logo and your colors and fonts and everything like that. So we're going to align it to what you want it to and what your brand needs it to. For an example here, this is a skin that we worked on. This is the original. And looking at it, almost impossible to tell what company that came from. It's a well-known company, but no way to know. This is the other apps and websites that company uses. Looking at it now, I'm pretty sure you have a good idea of what the company is. So why did they have a piece of software that did this when you'd have no idea? So we applied a lot of the elements from the websites and apps that they had and the logo, and we applied it to the skin. And now people have an idea of what actually this company is. And, it has brand recognition. So the other thing we do is, while we're working on it, we create new features and we don't remove any. So another thing that we got a lot were people were saying, you're going to start changing everything. Our customers that already have the software are not going to know how to use it. It's all going to be different. We're not going to ever remove any features unless the feature is bad. Then you might want it gone. But we're not going to be removing stuff. If anything, we're going to add new things or add new ways of telling a customer that there is a feature here. So often a developer will put in a feature and not really ever tell anyone that it's there. We'll then find a way to tell your customer that, hey, this is a thing you can do. Usually by adding an icon here saying, hey, by clicking this, you can select everything, as an example. So as an example here on the Air New Zealand one we were just looking at, the previous one didn't have a couple of features, and we decided to add them in because it was going to improve the user experience. So this nav bar off to the side here, that wasn't there originally. And beforehand, a person using the software had to either memorize these 5-digit codes to go to the page they wanted, or they had to go through a bit of a complex menu system to get to the screen they wanted. So we added in a nav section off to the side, which you could quickly use to navigate to where you wanted to go. So we added that in. The other thing we added in was this toolbar feature at the top. So beforehand, you'd have multiple windows open and you have to drag the other ones around and move them to where you wanted it. But now, you can have 4 of these windows open and quickly cycle through them. You can close them just as you would in a software, a internet browser. So phase 3, we would then pitch it back to you. We'll present the mock-up design to you, explain, why we did this, what's this doing, what's new, what's changed, what's improved, all of that, all the good stuff. And we often will do a thing called paper prototyping with you, if that helps. And what that is we can print all of these out, all of the mock-ups we did, and we can start cutting out the bits we like and pasting on new ones and all of that, and we can work with you to get to a point where you're happy. This is an example of one we had done where we did a workshop once we'd done the designs, and we were all in a room saying, hey, add this icon, hey, remove this, move this here, change this color. We like this button color, but we want it on this one. So, it's a fun little workshop, and you walk out at the end of the day with something you could be really happy with. With the end of that, we then make any changes from that workshop, and we keep making changes until you're happy with where we are and it's all approved. And then we do a little air guitar. We're happy. We've got it approved. We're going to make the skin now. So far we've just done mock-ups, but now we're going to actually make the real thing. So phase 4 is we actually make it. So one of the things we do when we're making it is, if you guys need it, is we can make multiple different colors. So once we have the design, it's not too hard for us to have a dark theme and a light theme and a pink theme and a blue theme. We can have all of these different ones just by changing a couple of the elements in the design. A lot of customers also like to have their dev system in one color and then their test environment in a bright red, so that they know they're in test. So you can have these different colors to tell people what that's actually happening there. For example, here, this is a design we've done. One was a bit was their brand colors, the orange and the dark. But they really liked that, but they were also worried that, you know, a lot of people don't always like dark theme, so they wanted a lighter version. So we gave them both, and the clients could go into the preferences and select whatever one they wanted. We would then create a style tile. So what is a style tile? It's basically all of the elements that go into the skin. So these are what the buttons look like, the rollovers and the disabled states. These are the icons, all the different login screen, everything that a developer would need to, if they wanted to create a new something. This is a good reference sheet as well that they can go back to and go, okay, what's the design style? It's a good reference sheet. And we also use this to give to BJ, who he cuts the skin out from this. So he'll cut out all the button elements from this sheet as well. And basically once that style tile is done, I give it to BJ to start cutting, and he will now show you how to do that. So if you go to the next video of BJ, he will give you a live demonstration of, well, not live, sorry, but it'll be a demonstration of how he cuts this out. So thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the videos.